Mr. President, I move that we proceed with the reorganization of the Senate leadership.
Any objection? Hearing none, the reorganization of the Senate leadership is now in order.
Mr. President, in accordance with Section 10 of Rule 8 of the Rules of the Senate, I move that we recognize Senate President Pimentel to make a manifestation and a motion.
Any objection? Hearing none, Senate President Pimentel is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, Majority Leader, my dear colleagues. All of you who know me know that I am a man of few words. So all I want to say is thank you to all of my colleagues in this august chamber for giving me the singular opportunity to preside over the affairs of our beloved institution in the last 22 months. Thank you too to the entire Senate family for your support. It is already a bonus for me that you, my beloved colleagues, entrusted that exalted position to me. After all, what is important for any person, especially one in public service, is to do his or her best to advance the development of his or her country and people, and not to hang on to the position the individual occupies, come hell or high water. The rostrum up there gives the occupant a unique vantage point. When there was an impasse on the floor, who did I see solve it? My nominee for the next Senate President. When there was a difficult procedural issue on the floor, who did we consult? My nominee. When we needed to know Senate President, who did we turn to? My nominee. When you had issues about recent political developments, who did you approach? My nominee. In short, if something is happening in our neighborhood, who do we call? No other than my nominee. I know on a personal basis that my nominee was the one who helped me solicit your signatures to our 11-point majority legislative agenda. My nominee is an institution in the Senate. He is the longest serving senator, having served in the Senate for around 20 years now. In his years in the Senate, he has held the following positions: minority leader and majority leader. He has seen legislative work from all possible angles. He has been there and done that. In his long career in the Senate, he has held leadership. He has always held leadership positions. My nominee is an institution in show business, having been a part of the longest-running variety show in the history of the Philippines, Eat Bulaga. My nominee is an institution in the music industry, having composed and performed songs which are hits during my younger years, and which still make the young people of today, the millennials, sway their bodies. He wrote Magkaisa, widely considered as the anthem of the EDSA Revolution, for which he won a Catholic Mass Media Award. My nominee is an institution in sports. He has represented our country in international competitions in bowling and in golf. I consider him to be the Filipino version of Tiger Woods. My nominee is also an institution in his own political party. Our re-electionist senators will be happy to know that my nominee belongs to a party which is a friend to all parties. I am very lucky that this person volunteered to help me as my majority leader. I was therefore able to work closely with him for the past close to 2 years. I witnessed his professionalism. He is always present, always on time, always prepared. That shows the dedication of this man to his work and also to our institution. I felt his sincerity as a friend and as a colleague. And best of all, I got to know him on a personal level. I believe in this good man and in his abilities. Hence, it is my honor and privilege to nominate as the next President of the Senate a person whose life appears to have captured the essential components of Filipino life: work and fun. Every Filipino must know how to have serious moments and light moments in life. And I do this nomination without any hesitation, because I know that from my close association with him, the senator deserves the post. As a legislator, Senator Vicente Tito Sotto III has authored laws that not only address the problems caused by certain aberrations in our society like the anti-drug laws, but also positively promote the aspirations of our people for jobs like the Tourism Act, and for justice like the creation of family courts. Not only did he author those high objective legislations, he also sought to make life more meaningful for our fisher folk by his pushing for the passage of the 1998 Fisheries Code, and life safer by requiring people using land transportation to use seat belts. These are but some, I can only mention some of the many numerous achievements of my nominee. Some of the down-to-earth laws that Senator Sotto authored and supported for the good of the people. I now quote words of wisdom emanating from my nominee, which I would like to share with our colleagues and the Filipino people. I don't divide my attention among politics, showbiz, sports, or even my family. I weave them all together because I find that only then can I do my best in all of them. Maybe somehow we can use that adage as our own guide in the performance of our work for our people. Hence, my dear colleagues, it is therefore my honor and privilege to nominate as the next Senate President our friend and the people's servant, our Tito Sen, Senator Vicente Tito Sotto III. I so move, Mr. President.
Mr. President, it has been moved that we elect Senator Vicente C. Sotto III as President of the Senate.
Is there any objection?
Mr. President, I move to recognize the Minority Leader, Senator Franklin Drilon.
The Minority Leader is recognized.
Thank you, Senator Honasan. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we do not intend to nominate anyone from the minority group to stand as a candidate for the presidency of this chamber. Unless there is another nominee from the majority group, the expectation is that the election will be unanimous. However, unless we manifest our position on record, we might become part of the majority voting for Senator Sotto, and we will disappear as a minority group, which I don't think is good. And therefore, Mr. President, in behalf of this representation, Senator Pangilinan, Senator Senator Aquino, Senator Trillanes, and Senator Ontiveros, and Senator De Lima, we place on record our abstention on the election of the next President of the Senate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you for that manifestation, Minority Leader. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move to recognize Senator Emmanuel Pacquiao.
Senator Pacquiao is recognized.
Mr. President, good afternoon, and to my colleagues, I rise for manifestation, Mr. President. I join my colleagues in expressing our trust and confidence in the appointment of Majority Floor Leader Senator Vicente Sotto III as our new Senate President. The majority's decisions is an expression of trust and confidence of Senator Sotto. I join the majority in fully supporting his leadership. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you for seconding the nomination. Majority Leader. Do you move for the previous question?
That is correct, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, Senator Vicente C. Sotto III is hereby elected to the Senate presidency.
Mr. President, I move that the presiding officer designate Senator Loren Legarda, Senator Cynthia Villar, Senator Grace Poe, Senator Risa Hontiveros, Senator Risa Hontiveros, and Senator Nancy Binay to compose the committee that will inform Senator Sotto of his election as President of the Senate.
The senators mentioned, is there any objection? There being none, motion is approved. The senators mentioned are so designated. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move for a minute suspension.
Session is suspended.
Mr. President,
Session is suspended.
no, maybe.
Mr. President, ready to resume?
Session is resumed.
Mr. President, there's no opposition from the female senators, except there's a request from some female senators to include a male senator. Senator Baum is requesting to be included. Senator Lacson, I think, wishes to be included. And Senator JV as well. And so, I don't know why the words, who said sexist? You? I don't know. I don't want to talk about sex during a leadership change, except that I don't know where my seatmate Senator Bina is coming from, except that was her comment, and I consulted Senator Risa, a resident expert on gender gender sensitivity, and so I just speak for the female senators. How many are we? 4, 5, 6? 6. Okay, I lost my count.
Is there any objection?
And so that is a suggestion if the chair would agree.
Yes. Is there any objection? There being none, motion is approved. The senators mentioned are so designated to include Senator Bam Aquino and Senator Pangelo Lacson. And Senator J.B. Ejercito. Session is suspended for a minute. May we request the family of incoming Senate President Vicente C. Sotto to join us, and the Majority Leader, Senator Onasan, to administer the oath to the incoming Senate President. Session is suspended for a minute.
I, Vicente C. Sotto III, having been elected to the position of Senate President, do hereby solemnly swear
that I will well and faithfully discharge to the best of my abilities
that I will well and faithfully discharge to the best of my ability
the duties of my present position,
the duties of my present position,
and of all others I may hereafter hold.
and of all others I may hereafter hold
under the Republic of the Philippines.
under the Republic of the Philippines.
That I will obey the laws,
That I will obey the laws,
legal orders, and decrees
legal orders, and decrees
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
and maintain true faith and allegiance
and maintain true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of the Philippines.
to the Republic of the Philippines.
And that I impose this obligation
And that I impose this obligation
upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.